Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Chtib Zhang Show, episode 51. Eric, in today's episode, we will be talking about the NFL Week 16. It's also our Christmas episode. Don't know what that means. We didn't really plan a Christmas theme episode, but I did wear some type of Christmas theme sweater of some sorts because one of us has to bring the Christmas spirit. If
There
you're
you
gonna
go.
wear Steelers, that's just it's not a big Christmas theme. So yeah, NFL Week 16 on the way. A lot of things to talk about, but as always, got to mention the sponsor, Hot Streak Fantasy, the best in-play fantasy app on the market. Pick 2 to 3 players in the NFL, NBA. Watch your favorite teams. Watch them make you some money. Hot Streak is matching your initial deposit as a bonus when you use promo code Hot Sauce. So get Hot Streak Fantasy app now. Say it every week. Quick, easy way to make money. Put a bet. You're thinking of a bet. You see it pop up during the game. You like it. Boom. Put money down. Make some money. Quick, easy, in minutes. Download it on the App Store now. Hot Streak Fantasy app. But as always, before we jump into the episode, roll it. Welcome back to the Chtib Zhang Show, episode 51. Like we said, week 16 of the NFL. 3 weeks left as they added another game, a 17th game this year. There are 3 weeks left in the NFL. A lot of games, a lot of important games when it comes to the playoff seeding and positioning and who's in and who's out. Week 16 is one of those cases. Lots of good games. But man, Eric, like I said, Christmas episode. This will be aired on Wednesday. Christmas is calculations, Eric, is when?
I think Friday. No, Saturday.
Saturday. Christmas is Saturday. Yes, because there's football on Saturday. That's right. Christmas Day. Yeah, like I said, wore the Habs jersey, but doesn't stop me from, of course, bringing the Bengals drip. I represent the Bengals. Jamar Chase. There you go. 1 reception for 3 yards. Great game for him, as always, rookie of the year. No, but yeah, Bengals win. We'll get to that. Steelers comeback win, even though they
Yeah.
probably should have lost that game and missed the playoffs. They're
The
still in the hunt.
Titans.
They're still in the hunt.
Yeah.
Lucky them. But man, a lot of it happened in the boxing world. We didn't mention, but I guess we could talk about it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, we
Jake
can talk
Paul
about it.
versus Tyron Woodley 2. The rematch, as we know, Tommy Fury had to step out, broken ribs or something, injury. Not Paul Woodley. Tyron Woodley comes in for his second chance to try and beat Jake Paul. There was a clause in the contract that Jake would pay Tyron if he knocked him out, was what, at 500K, I think. But Eric, it happens in the 6th round. Jake Paul knocks out
Yeah.
Tyron Woodley. Now, that was a clean hit. It looked like you saw the sweat, the punch, and everything. However, there's a lot of controversy going on over the internet right now,
Mhm.
saying that it was staged, it was fake. Tyron really deserves an Oscar because it, to some people, some boxing experts there, because everyone's a boxing expert these
Yeah.
days. It was a thing. Fighters, they tend to, in the WWE especially, there's a lot of stage warnings or things that are going to happen, little twitches, things people do, wrestlers, fighters, to let their opponent know if something's coming or something's going to happen. And a lot of people are saying that Jake Paul brought his, what was it, his hand or fist or something
Yeah.
outwards, pretty much tipping off Tyron Woodley, saying that the punch was coming now and, lower your guard. Yeah, that's a crazy conspiracy theory. It could be possible. I'm not going to deny it or whatever.
Mhm.
But yeah, it just, Tyron Woodley hasn't been knocked out in his UFC career. I don't know if the last time that
No,
happened. It was
he
wild.
hasn't been like knocked out cold in a while though. That
Wild.
was
It happened.
definitely
It
wild.
has happened in the UFC, but it's been years, and he just
Yeah.
got knocked out by Jake Paul. So, questionable. Fighters do make mistakes. They drop their guard, drop their fists.
Yeah.
Maybe he thought it was a body shot coming in. He went for the face, but man, especially even people are saying the way he fell, how his legs like popped out. It's not normal, or like he meant to do that anyway.
No,
Did you
I
hear
don't know
about
if
this? Is all a
yes,
surprise to you?
I did hear watching the fight is difficult, right? Because if it was
It was a boring fight. Let's say that.
no, it was a very boring fight. A lot of clinching, but that is boxing. Like, okay,
Yeah.
what people don't understand is a lot of people that are watching these fights, no, like most of these people are just like fans of like entertainment, right? They're not actual boxing fans. So if you never watch a boxing fight, like if you watch Manny Pacquiao versus Mayweather, clinching happens all the time in boxing. It's just it comes down to strategy too, right? Like it is a strategy, but it is boring to watch, right? But it happens way more
Yeah.
often than people believe. Like we've watched many fights where people just start clinching, but in the box there was a lot of clinching that was happening. But and also
Well,
to
even
go
the
back,
announcers were saying it was a boring. Were you hearing what the
yeah,
announcers were saying? He was like,
yes,
"This
yes,
is hard
yeah.
to watch." The old
No, but
guy.
it's fine. It's boxing at the end of
It's
the day.
amateur boxing at the end of the day, right? It is amateur boxing.
Well, it's not amateur, but it looks like it's amateur. But like
Well, I know it's pro, right?
it's a professional bout, but it's not. Yeah, it's not like.
But it's like
Yeah,
amateur boxers. Like
yeah,
I know Jake Paul's been boxing for years now. Tyron Woodley hasn't, he's not a boxer,
yeah.
UFC striker, MMA, but it is amateur, I would say.
But the
Classified.
thing with Tommy Fury was that fight didn't make sense to me because I feel like Tommy Fury was risking too much because Tommy Fury's trying to be the world champion. You know, he's trying to follow into his brother's his half brother's footstep.
Yeah.
Maybe not become the heavyweight, but the cruiserweight champion. He's trying to win some belts here, and he's trying to do it the legit way, not go and get a bag. So to me, it didn't make sense if they ever fought because the alignment it just doesn't make sense. So I'm not that surprised that the fight got canceled. I in my head it didn't make sense that Tommy Fury took the fight because it was way too big of a risk for him. He was going to be the favorite, and I feel like there was a chance he could lose because in his last fight he didn't show much either. And Jake Paul is a pretty lethal person. And then going back to what you were saying about the stage thing is this is the only reason this is getting brought up is because it's Jake Paul.
Yeah.
No, I've never heard any other MMA fight, UFC or a boxing fight. It's like, oh, it's stage, it's stage. The only reason is people are calling it stage is because it's Jake Paul. But also, I do understand just because of the fact that like Jake Paul does have a lot of money. So if he did want to do something like that, he could pay off people. But people were saying, wait, last fight when he beat Tyron Woodley, it was like, I don't know. It's always
a clean knockout. This was like
exactly. It was
highlight reel stuff.
It was a clean knockout, but people can't forget like against Ben Askren, people were saying that was stage 2. Like people were saying that was stage. People were saying this was stage. So every time he's gonna knock someone out, it's not gonna be staged. Like how come like if it was like people would start knowing about this stuff, it'd start being like you can't just hide that. You know, it's like if you did, you know what I mean. It's not just people are trying to discredit Jake Paul just because they don't like him, but you do have to give him some credit. He's coming because Tyron Woodley's amazing fighter. Like he's a 5-time world champ. You know, he's a really good fighter. He's got great. He doesn't get knocked out usually, especially in boxing. It's harder to knock someone out in boxing than UFC, in my opinion. So he in UFC, like even when he was going on that 4-fight losing streak, he didn't get knocked out clean. Like Kobe Covington didn't knock him out clean. Like none of them knocked him out clean. You know, and he stood in there, and then Jake Paul had him with that really. But yeah, it looks. Hey, if you look at the highlight, it looks amazing.
Jake Paul, the big thing for him was that he wanted to knock out all the opponents he's ever faced. Obviously, the first time Tyron, they went to decision. Hope maybe in the second time, though, you don't even think there's a possibility. Jake Paul, with a bag of money, went to Tyron and said, "Listen, I really want this whole. I really want this accolade that I've knocked out all the opponents I've faced. Take this bag. Let me stage something. Knock you out. You'll make more money than you've ever made in the UFC." And you could retire or whatever, never fight again, just so I can get. I don't know. It's not hard to.
No. That's why it's easy, but it's the only reason that's being circulated is only to discredit anything that Jake Paul has done. You know, it's just a way for people to make it make sense that he's actually not this good. You know what I mean? Yeah. You have to understand, like he beat Tyron Woodley. Okay, maybe, but it's just like what before. If he lost, what would have happened? You know, it's like. It's only because he won, and it's just people don't want him. Don't realistically, people don't want to see him succeed.
Yeah,
it makes sense, and so people are trying to find. But hey, it could be true. But I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, it's not every single like after every single fight he's ever fought in his career. There's always an excuse. It's always something. It's always, he fought an NBA player, Ben Askren. He's what? But going into the fight, no one's saying anything. And then once after the fight, there's always something. Before the fight, Tyron, like, it's always like, oh, he could like. But after the fight, after he wins, there's always something that has to come up, right? Because people don't want to see him do well. So that's why, like, I'm not the biggest fan of Jake Paul, but I respect what he's been doing for the sport, and I respect, like, I just want to, like, I feel like he deserves a bit of credit, you know? Yeah, he deserves some credit. You know, he beat Tyron Lee. Like, he's worked hard. Like, people don't want to see him succeed. Mayweather did the exact same. People always try and find, especially his personality.
Jake Paul, man.
Exactly, but
when two become one.
Exactly. So especially like
they're not comparable.
No, I know. They're not comparable. But I'm just saying, like, people pay to see Jake Paul get fucked up, basically. So
anyway, we're talking way too long about this argument, you know.
No, but no, it is a good subject though.
Yeah,
no, it's not. We'll
never know. We'll never know. You know, like we said, people will say stuff. We'll never know the truth. No one's gonna come out and say it, because that'd be crazy. Probably a contract breach or something. Something was signed. You never know. But we'll never know, Eric.
But you can't.
We'll never know if it was real or not real.
But you can say that about anything. Anything in life. You can say about that. You can, but just because it's Jake Paul, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, man. Because what if what if the guy's paying his way to the top? Well, that'd be a crazy thing to do. And then he fights Canelo Alvarez, and Canelo Alvarez, it's his last fight in his career because he gets paid the bag, beats Canelo, just because he paid him off. Crazy. Imagine. Anyway, Jake Paul could be the next world champion. Who knows? Could be him versus, I don't even know who the cruiser champ is. Anyway, isn't cruiser like pretty much heavyweight?
No, it's,
or the below heavyweight. Yeah, well, don't know who the cruiser belt is. But anyway, yeah, that was a boring fight. It was very boring. But until that sixth round knockout. So now NFL week 16, we got Christmas games on Saturday, Christmas Day, Christmas night, Christmas Eve games. We got Boxing Day games too after the day or day after Sunday. Yeah. So let's break it down, give our thoughts on this week. I mean, I wrote down notes for every game. We don't have to go through every game. But there are a lot of big games I'd like to talk about. We won't spend too much time on these, rapid fire. We'll give our thoughts, move on, and just get people a consensus pick to bet on. But yeah, this is gonna be fun. Eric, what's Christmas like at the Zhang's house, the Zhang family's house?
It's good, just holiday spirit, good.
Everything's happy. No Christmas movies, nothing.
Usually, there's a Christmas
traditions.
Just, family time.
What's the meal look like?
I don't know, just normal meals. I don't know. Watch movies. All good.
What's a normal meal?
I don't know, just food. Like, I don't know what you want. Like, just we eat food.
Like a turkey?
I don't know. We just eat food. My mom makes.
What'd you have last year?
We eat at a table.
What food did you have last year?
What are these questions? We just eat food with my family. We all eat at the table, and then we watch a movie. Like, we just.
Oh, there you go. That's what I wanted to hear. Specific Christmas movie?
I think last year. Oh, what's that movie called? It's like a kids movie. I forgot what it's called.
Home Alone. Elf.
No, I think last year's it was what's that movie? Like, the elf becomes mean, and then they try and make that elf good, and like he tries to ruin the.
Oh, I forgot. Are you talking about Elf or are you talking about Jack Frost?
I forgot what the movie's called. I forgot.
It's like a kids movie. Huh? Is it like an old movie?
No, it's like a kids movie.
Oh, it's like anyway.
What do you do?
I'm gonna have probably a turkey. Christmas. Yeah, gonna have line up the nutcrackers on the door on the stairs, and then no Christmas movie. Straight to bed, Eric. No time for Christmas movie. After turkey, bedtime. Bedtime, and wake up and open Santa's presents.
Nice.
Santa. In case the kids are watching, you never know.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Santa's not real.
Okay. Well, I'll tell.
That's up to Terry to bleep out.
You gotta give a warning at the beginning of this video
now. Anyway, so Christmas is upon us. Christmas Day is gonna be fun. Christmas football will be on. That'll be fun to watch. So week 16, the Thursday night game. This Thursday night, football are the San Francisco 49ers versus the Tennessee Titans. 49ers are the favorites. The spread is under 3.5. Yeah. So the 49ers, they're going into Tennessee. It's an East Coast game, another short week. So travel, that's going to have implications in this game. Titans coming off a loss to the Steelers after they blew it in that fourth quarter. 49ers coming off a big win versus the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah. So this game's hard to bet on. Couple good teams, going head to head here, 8-6, 9-5. A lot of question marks with the Titans, though, Eric. Their offense has been in complete disaster mode right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, no Derrick Henry. He's injured. Julio Jones just got injured with the hamstring again. A.J. Brown, questionable. Is he healthy? Who knows if he's going to return or not. Dante Foreman right now is their primary running back. He's been running the ball okay. But man, I have the 49ers in this one. Just the Titans offense is in complete question marks. It's not you can't bet on it. You can't trust it. It's not worth to bet on right now. Even with AJ Brown back, I mean, that's a huge boost. I don't know how they can beat the 49ers here if they don't figure out offensively, because defensively, I think the 49ers, they're going to put up points. It's just the Titans got to match that pace. I don't think they can do it right now. Their offense has been lacking the past few weeks. Obviously, injuries. Julio, who knows if this guy, man, Eric, it could be the career for Julio right now. It could be I'm not going to say that, but this guy with the injuries, his age, his body, it's catching up to him. He's getting hamstring injuries, that same hamstring every single time he's injured.
Yeah.
And so I don't know with this guy anymore. And he's having I think he's got the lowest receiving yards he's ever had in his career right now, because obviously injuries and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. This team's injured, Riddle, so I wouldn't bet on the Titans right now. I'd say the 49ers are the safest bet. That's how I think.
Okay. Very similar to me. I think 49ers are winning this one. Like, the thing is, Tennessee, they're in a pretty comfortable playoff position right now. They're 9-5. They have a good their team's unhealthy right now, but hopefully they'll be back for the playoffs. I don't believe Agent Brown's probably gonna be there for the playoffs, but I don't know what's the news. There's
Julio just got injured. He's on
I'm for Derrick Henry. He's not coming back.
Oh,
right?
I don't think he's coming back. No.
Okay, no, but that's the thing. So Tennessee's probably gonna make the playoffs because they're 9-5 right now. But yeah, I have 49ers winning. I'm actually pretty impressed with the 49ers this year. Like, they've done a lot better than I thought they were gonna do. But especially I'm pretty impressed with them, especially with Deebo Samuel taking a huge jump this year. Like, who would have thought he'd be top 2, top 3 wide receiver?
Do you see most of the plays they run with him? I saw I was watching the Bengals game, and he's got receiving yard because what they're doing is they're just throwing him the ball right next to him, and then he's just rushing up.
He's basically like a Cladale Patterson. Yeah. He's basically a running back, which is, but he's very good.
It's dangerous offense what you can create with that.
So so that's why I have the 49ers.
It's an interesting Tennessee AFC South 9-5. Colts, who are now playing pretty well, Eric, these past few games, are also 8-6. So a win with the Colts, a loss with the Titans, both teams 9-6. I believe the Titans have the tiebreaker. I don't know who won this matchup before in the season. Not quite sure. But yeah, AFC South, things are heating up between the top two teams. Obviously, Texans and Jaguars are not touching that. 49ers are my picks. Christmas Day football, Eric. Saturday in the day, Browns, who are currently playing the Raiders, will be facing off versus the Packers Christmas Day in Green Bay. The under 7.5. That's the spread. They're the favorites for good reason. Okay, let's break it down. Browns, obviously, injury riddled. Eric Mayfield, Jarvis Landry, Kareem Hunt, whatever. Nick Chubb is back. Great. He's playing. He's healthy. The problem with the Browns right now is their offense is also in a flux. Obviously, the injuries. But Browns have only scored 24 points. That's the highest they've scored this month. It's 24 against the Ravens. Packers are consistently putting up 30. It's no problem. The problem with the Packers right now, defensive woes, that could make the Browns cover because of the defensive problems in Green Bay. The defense hasn't been showing up lately, so I expect the Browns to cover. However, I'm going to take the Packers to win this game just because the Browns won't be able to keep up with the Packers offense. Not with 30. They need to score 30 plus or 30, and they won't do that with their offense right now.
Okay. Exact same. Not too much to say. I have Green Bay on this game. not much to say.
Yeah,
I'll just
not
pick
much.
Green. I'll
Why
just
don't you
pick Green
take the
Bay.
next? Why don't you take Cardinals Colts?
Okay,
Who'd you get in that one? Christmas night, the Christmas night game
yeah. I don't know how I feel about the I don't know. They came off a big loss to
versus
Detroit
Detroit
Lions,
Lions.
which is kind
Yeah,
of brutal.
kind of
And
embarrassing.
I don't know if this one's tough because I like what the Colts are doing so far. Like they've
Yeah,
been on a roll. Like
running the ball.
uh, definitely doing. Yeah, Jonathan. I don't like
Taylor
talking about Jonathan Taylor because in one of my fantasies I did trade
trade
him. It
him.
was a very bad trade, but I don't know why, but I have a feeling. I feel like the Colts might take this one just because I don't know how you lose to the Detroit Lions. Maybe Arizona they'll bounce back from this one, but
Hopefully, man. But
I'll,
yeah.
I'm guessing the Arizona is the favorite in this one.
Oh yeah, for which is surprising in my opinion because I'm smelling upset in this matchup.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I think Colts, their run game with Jonathan Taylor, they're obviously a run game team. Their identity
Mhm.
is running the ball down your throat, and with MVP performer and Jonathan Taylor, he's up for the MVP probably. That'd be interesting. Running back winning MVP.
Mhm.
He's been killing it. Their Colts, their run game's dangerous. Him and Nyheim Hines, and then Cardinals just gave up 112 yards to Greg Reynolds from the Detroit Lions. So I don't trust their run defense right now. What's to say what Jonathan Taylor is going to do?
Yeah.
And Colts have won their last 5 games or the
Yeah.
5 wins in their last 6 games. So, Eric, for some reason, the Cardinals are a favorites here. I smell a little upset. I think it's a good
Mhm.
bet. I think it's a
Yeah.
bet that could go and work. So, I'm taking the Colts to upset the Cardinals on the Christmas night
That's
game.
fair.
Um, Giants, Eagles. Nobody really cares about this game.
Yeah.
4-10 versus 6-7. Giants, man, I'm gonna take the Eagles just because if Jalen Hurts looks good, mind you, they haven't played since week what this is week 16, week
Yeah.
15 they're going to play Tuesday, week 14 they got a bye, so week 13 that's the last time the Eagles have played, because now they have a game Tuesday. And so if Jalen Hurts looks good, then it's going to be hard for the Giants to make it close in any way. So Eagles will win and Giants will lose because at this point Daniel Jones under center, man, who just what's his name? Mike Glennon or something. Mike Glennon was under center for the Giants too. And
Yeah.
so I don't know who they're going to have under center, but yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles just because, I mean, these are two shitty teams, but the Eagles have
Yeah.
been playing way better than the Giants this season.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not trying to copy you here, but I think I'm gonna go with the Eagles too. I just think the Giants, they're 4-10. They got nothing going for, at this point, just tank,
Yeah.
trying to get a high draft position. I don't really know too much about this draft class yet. I haven't really done my research. Haven't really paying attention to
Not really a
the
quarterback
NCAA.
draft class.
Yeah, so exactly. So, but
Daniel
it's gonna be
Jones.
interesting to see if Daniel Jones
Daniel Jones.
is he their, are they gonna give up on him?
I
Like
think we
what's
talked
happening?
about this, about his contract status. About
Okay.
I thought, oh my god, we mentioned it when his contract was up anyway. But that was the whole question: is if when his contract's up, are the Giants going to sign him again, or not? Because it hasn't really worked out with Danny Dimes in New York. I think they like him. That's
Yeah.
what people are saying. But you know, New York is such a big franchise. That team, one of the most expensive teams in the league, New York Giants. So there's a big fan base there. They want to win. Do they move on from Daniel Jones? Wait another year, draft a QB, get their offense around him, or do they keep him and try and figure out something else? Because I mean, the offense runs through Saquon Barkley, but he hasn't been there enough. He hasn't been healthy enough for them to like have a game plan or anything, right? Even though that's the whole game plan in New York, but he hasn't been healthy. He's always been injured. So that's what's really screwed them, is when you have your number over two number. When did Saquon get drafted?
Yeah.
Second
Behind
overall,
Baker. Yeah.
behind Baker in 2018, I think it was. 2018, second overall pick. When he's not playing consistently, your team's gonna suck years after years if he's not there.
Well, it's
So
always been like that with running back. So when you draft a running back, it might last a couple of years. You like they'll get injured. It's always like that. The only anomaly right now seems to, Derrick Henry seems like,
yeah,
he's injured now, but he seems like the one that's been able to do it for like a couple. It's
Christian,
hard for running backs to do well.
like Christian McCaffrey is a good example of
Yeah.
like the Panthers. Their offense is ran through Christian McCaffrey, and when he's injured, I mean, obviously when one of your best players injured, you're gonna have the season's gonna not look too good, and it's hard for teams to adapt to another offense. Especially when they have, who was that quarter? Sam Darnold, who wasn't, he's playing good and then kind of fell off.
Yeah.
And classic Sam Darnold way. Seeing ghost. Yeah. All right. Rams versus Vikings. Vikings a favorite. Under 3. 9-4 versus 6-7. Vikings. I never bet against the Vikings, Eric. I tend to sway away from it. I don't touch it, but this time I'm gonna have to. Vikings even at home. Rams are on 3 straight losses. However, Eric, their last 2 weeks they've scored 30 plus points, so the offense is clicking once again, which it was not at one point. The defense has picked it up, and so interesting for the Vikings, Eric. These next 2 weeks, they either need to beat the Packers or the Rams to pretty much stay in the hunt for a playoff spot. But that's like, come on. When you have 2 weeks, you got to face the Packers or you got to face the Rams. And then, oh, okay, we didn't beat the Rams. Oh, okay, whatever. There's not many teams better than the Rams. Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's the Green Bay Packers. You face them next. Good luck.
Yeah.
So it's going to be tough for Vikings. I think they're going to come out with some urgency here. I think this is going to be a high scoring game. However, it's the defense that's going to do it for me. Vikings defense has allowed 30.5 points these last 4 games. Whereas the Rams defense is kind of picking up as well. The team's kind of coming together. It's gone through this little patch. Hopefully now the defense are going to turn around. I think I'm going to take the Rams defense over the Vikings defense. I still think it's going to be a high scoring game though. But I'm going to take the Rams away in Minnesota.
Okay. No, fair. I have the Rams too. It's hard this season to know like who's like with all the COVID and injuries. Like it's hard to know like who's playing. But no, the Rams, they like obviously they're losing right now. But hey, they're a good team.
Clicking.
We both said at the beginning of the season like they're a good team. They made the trades they needed to make it. They acquired the players they needed to.
Yeah.
And overall, I just think defense, offense, and Vikings. No, Vikings are a good team though. Like they'll beat like the most random teams and then lose to what Detroit.
Man, Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook. Like that's not too shabby. They're gonna put up points. It's the defense for them that has cost them some games.
Exactly.
So that's why
I have the Rams on this one.
Yeah. As we move on, do you want to take the Bills Patriots? That's a good matchup. A little division matchup.
Okay.
Who you got there?
So yeah. So what was it? Was it 2 weeks? 2 weeks ago, the Thanksgiving game? Yeah. 2 weeks ago, Thanksgiving. That was a good game. I watched that one. I watched like most of the game. Very good game. Obviously that game was very influenced by the wind, right? Mac Jones threw what
3 passes,
2 completions. What's his name? It was Devin Harris. I think what's that running back for Patriots? I think his name's Harris.
Yeah.
He just went off, like got 100 plus, like he went crazy. But hey, that's what happens when there's wind. Like you just gotta be able to run the ball, and
that's what the Patriots do well.
Exactly. That was a really good game. This is a really good matchup though, because who would have thought that the Patriots would have been? They're probably the underdogs in this matchup, but
no, they're not. They're the favorites.
They're the favorites.
And they're the favorites in this matchup. Under 2.5 points spread. They're favorites.
Who would have thought? But yeah. Oh, it's tough because hey, are the Patriots legit? Like I don't know if I
listen. I think the Patriots are legit. But they have been way more consistent than Buffalo this season.
Yeah.
And it's not like a little fluke. It's been all season. They've been more consistent. Buffalo has like not been consistent whatsoever. They go out and then, they can beat a big team, then they'll lose against a bad team the next week, whatever. Their offense is in a lot of question marks. Both teams like to run the ball. Devin Singletary's running a lot, it seems like. Even in week 15, he ran a lot, especially. Their last game, was it who'd they play? They play
the Panthers. They won.
Yeah. And I think Devin's, I forget what his stats were. But they both like to run the ball.
Okay.
Obviously, Patriots love to run the ball. Bills are running the ball, but they have Josh Allen and they have Stephon Diggs. They could also throw the ball too. However, in this game, I like Patriots at home. That's a tough place to play in Gillette Stadium in New England. We know the Patriots' run defense is really good. It's one of the best in the AFC. I think this is going to be a bounce back game for the Pats. I don't know if they've lost. Yeah, I think they've lost 2 in a row before, but it's hard now. I haven't seen them. They've been on this winning streak. I don't see them losing 2 or 3 in a row anymore. So I think this is a bounce back. I expect the Patriots to cover under 2.5, and then so I'm going to take the Pats. I'm going to take the Pats at home in Gillette Stadium. I think, yeah, they're going to beat the Bills. They're going to keep it in the game plan. Bill Belichick's coaching. They're going to take away Buffalo's best assets, Stephon Diggs. They're obviously the defense, the run defense. You can count on them versus Devin Singletary. So I think Bill Belichick's going to come out with a game plan like he did. Well, whatever the Thanksgiving game was, he created a game plan because he had to because of the wind and everything like that. But he's going to be more prepared now. And I'm going to take Bill Belichick and the Pats to beat the Bills.
Okay. I don't want to be saying the Pats here, but because I feel like I like what the Pats have been doing this season, but knowing that the Bills are underdogs, I'd probably take the Bills here.
Yeah.
Like last game was really close, could have gone either way, very close game, and we know the win affected that, so that probably helped out the Pats more, right? Just because Josh Allen didn't get to do there's win, right? So that's why I'd probably go with the Bills here. It's gonna be a really close game, I believe, because obviously they're both in the same division. Like they're at the top, right?
AFC
so kind of
East, baby.
So yeah, so I'm gonna go with the Bills, but it's gonna be a very close game because usually in these close games, when there's like a lot of hype behind it, like Bill Belichick usually comes out with the win. You know, like he finds a way to win. So. But I'm gonna try. I hate going against Bill, but I'm gonna go
for the Pats. This is an interesting game. 9-5. Bills are 8-6. I believe the Patriots have the tiebreaker because they just won Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think have they swept the Bills? Maybe I don't know. Or did the Bills beat them this season? God, I don't know. Anyway, I think Patriots have the tiebreaker, so they'll still. If they lose, I think they still have the top seed in the AFC East. But Bills, if they win, it's going to be a close matchup there down these last 2 weeks. That's going to be interesting to watch who comes out the top seed there in the East. That's going to be a great game. Bills versus Patriots. Everyone should be watching that. But let's go to the Bucks Panthers. This is an easy call. First of all, we just heard terrible news. Chris Godwin out for the season with an ACL injury. So that's going to be a big hit to the Bucks offense. Mike Evans is reportedly he might play. He might be able to play on Sunday. And so Antonio Brown is also returning. From his suspension from violating COVID rules, he's back. So he'll be in. Gronk obviously just played last week. He's in. Eric, this is an easy game for me to call. I mean, first of all, the point spread is under 13 right now. Under 13. So the Patriots either win or they can't.
Wait, the Patriots?
No, sorry. The Panthers. They either win or they can't lose less than 13 points. That's what that means to cover. And for the Bucks, if they lose, they lose. But then if they win, they got to win as much as 13 points. They got to win more than 13 points. So man, I do I want to say the Bucks will cover? No, because I don't know if Leonard Fournette's out, Chris Godwin's out. I don't know what this new look offense is. Not new look, but Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, Gronk are your three primary targets, right? So it's gonna be. I still think they're gonna win this game. Obviously, that's no problem. Bucks are gonna win this game. Put it down. It's just. Will the Bucks cover? I don't know. It's tough to say. Will they be able to beat the Panthers by more than 2 touchdowns? That's tough to say because, the Panthers can make a late drive at the end of the game and ruin that cover spread. So, no, I won't bet for the Bucks to cover. It's too risky right now. They just got shut out versus New Orleans. Pretty much no Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin, no, there was Leonard Fournette, and Gronk. And they got shut out. Fournette and Gronk were there. They got shut out. So it's tough to say, even with Mike Evans back, Leonard Fournette out now. Will they be able to beat the Panthers by 2 touchdowns? I don't know. Don't think so. I wouldn't bet on that to cover. But yeah, I'm taking the Bucks. This is easy. This is a bounce back game. Brady was pissed through his Samsung tablet, Sony tablet, whatever it was. And so he's going to come back. He's going to bounce back, and they're going to win by big, I think, just by not 2 touchdowns. Good 7 to 10 point spread.
Okay, that's completely fair. Like, just by the win, I have the Bucks winning, and I was sad because seeing Chris Godwin because he's actually having a decent season. But I have the Bucks winning. I don't know. The point spread is gonna be tough though because 13 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns.
I don't know. That's especially with all the injuries. Yeah,
are the Bucks gonna beat them by 2 touchdowns? I don't know. That's tough. It's tough because the Panthers, their offense right now is really inconsistent. You can't trust it. That's why I wouldn't place a bet anywhere near the Panthers. But I just don't know if the Bucks, they just got shut out, and I don't know if even with Fournette leaving and Mike Evans and Brown coming back, is that team gonna beat this team by 2 touchdowns? I'm not sure. But I mean, it could happen. It could, it's plausible. It could happen for sure.
Mhm.
Brady or Antonio Brown, Gronk has a game. Like it could happen. I wouldn't place money on it. So next game, this is another shit. Jags versus Jets. Eric, this is actually a big game. Has a lot of stake on it. Jags currently have the first pick in the NFL draft because there's no lottery in the NFL. It's wherever you finish, that's where you get the pick. Jags have first pick. The Jets, Eric. The Jets can get the first overall pick if the Jags and Lions win one more and the Jets lose. So if the Jets lose this week, Jags and Lions win. They'll be all tied. Okay, I don't know what the tiebreaker is for any of this, but I'm just gonna take the Jets to win. Just because the Jets offense actually looked decent against the Dolphins D, versus where the Jags just totally stunk. Who they play? The Falcons, I think, last game. I forget. Anyway,
Jets?
The Jags are Joe. Urban Meyer just got fired. What a storyline. Saga comes to an end. I can't believe he wasn't fired sooner. But I'm going to take the Jets. I think the Jags are, they know what they have their hands on, their paws on right now. That first pick, I don't think they're letting go of it.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. These games are so like, because realistically, the teams are going to tell they're going to be like, lose this game. Like, no, not lose this game, but play your best. But in everyone's head, it's like the teams low-key want, like, they want to lose. They're trying to tank here, like,
yeah.
And that's, I don't know if it's as big of a problem in the NFL, but I know in like other sports.
Well, in the NFL for sure, it's definitely a problem. It's
because
no lottery.
Exactly, there's no lottery, so that's why the NHL is starting to fix that, because sometimes you can be by far the worst team and you won't end up with like a top 3 pick.
They fixed it, but then they went. I think the first overall pick now has an increased chance to get it. If you finish last, you have they increase the odds in the NHL to get the first pick. But in the NFL, there's basically like if you finish dead last, you're getting the first pick, so it's much easier to tank because there's not going to be a lottery at the end of the season where you finish last, you might get the 4th overall pick.
But I don't even know who to pick in this game. I feel like the Jets could use a higher pick than the Jags. They both suck, but I don't know. I don't even know. Like, I don't even like to pick. I don't even want to pick this game. It's just such a It's just such a useless game to pick.
Listen, it's Jags or Jags. The shittier team. Who do you think? I think the Jags because they want the first pick. It's pretty easy.
Okay.
I think they're gonna be like, hey, if we let the Jets beat us, then we're gonna give these fuckers the first pick. And I'm not doing that. So they're gonna spank us. And
So
that's that. Urban Meyer's gonna be wearing his Jets merchandise while he's watching TV from home. And that's gonna be or at a bar, who knows? Some Foxy Cleopatras. But let's move on. Oh my god, what am I doing? Let's go on to the Lions. Falcons. Lions coming off a big upset win over the Cardinals, 2-11-1. Face off against the Falcons. Falcons need a win, Eric, this week to stay in the hunt, stay alive for a playoff spot. If any, they're 6-8, they're dim. They need to win. They have to, or else they're eliminated. So, logic says take the Falcons. However, the Lions have been playing pretty good these past 2 weeks. They're coming off some wins. And I guess Campbell has this team, more confidence. They want to play for their coach, whatever. I'm going to take the Falcons just because of the urgency for them to win this game. They're at home too, under 4.5. So I'm going to take the Falcons just because Matt Ryan needs this win. The whole team, they need this win to stay in on. 7-8 is way better than 6-9. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. It's weird because the Lions, man, they're actually they're 2-11, but they're actually a good team. They're a decent team. But it's weird when you look at the Lions because it's they're not a decent they're definitely not they're definitely better than the Jets and the Jaguars by far. If you look at their team,
it's hard to
the games are close.
We just don't know which every week we don't know which Lions
exactly
we get.
Which Lions team you're gonna get. But it's weird because I don't know if they're rebuilding right now or not. Because if you have Jared Goff, who's 26, I'm guessing by now.
I think they are rebuilding. The moment they send Matthew Stafford, they're like, okay. We're taking Goff. We're rebuilding.
But it's not like Goff's that young, Goff's still he was first overall in 2016. He's still 25, 26 right now. Who else? I'm trying to think.
But do teams want Jared Goff? Even if they're rebuilding, they're like, hey, well, we don't need Jared Goff. Do teams even want to trade for Jared Goff?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm
sure there's someone out there who would trade for Jared Goff. It's just, I think he's proven he's a system QB.
Yeah, but You know what? I'm probably just gonna go. I'll go the Lions. I like the
Oh
Lions
yeah,
from Detroit. I like.
from
I
Detroit.
still support. I still support my Detroit teams. Falcons haven't showed like they're 6-8. But like what they going? Are they trying to make the playoffs? Like what
Yeah,
are they trying to
I
do?
mean, they're trying to make the playoffs. If they
They're
lose this week, they're out. Six and
yeah.
nine, they won't make the playoffs with 3 weeks left. However, 7-8. Then there's next week 8-8, and then if they win 3 games in a row, they're 9-8. But is that even good enough? In the hold on, what division do they play in the AFC? If they play
In
in
the
the
NFC South.
so they play in the
NFC.
NFC. They can make the playoffs. If you look at the wild cards of the NFC, wild card, 9-4, 8-6, 7-7. Saints are in the last wild card. They're 7-7. So Falcons, if they win 7-8, if they win 3 in a row, they're 9-8. It could get them in the playoffs. So this is what I'm saying. This is a big game. If they lose this, they're out.
Okay. That's funny because I feel like the Falcons have been in that position a couple of years in a row. Even if they lost Julio Jones, they're still in the same position as they were the last few years. Like they're not a contender. They're not a bad team because they have Matt Ryan, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm guessing Matt Ryan's still there. So yeah. I'll also go with the Lions. I feel like they could pull out a win out of it nowhere. They have 2 wins, one over the Vikings, one over the Cardinals, and they tied my Steelers, and a lot of their games have been really, really close. So
yeah, it depends. What kind of team will we see? Will we see an
exactly
energized team that wants to keep winning, or a team that just goes back to looking like crap? But Falcons have to win this one. Chargers versus Texans. Chargers are going to blow out the Texans, Eric. They're 8-6. They want to secure their playoff spot. They're not going to let the Texans beat them. Texans usually suck against good teams. They haven't been a good team all year. So I'm going to expect under 10.5, Eric. I could see the Chargers beating the Texans by 10.5 points. I'm going to take the Chargers to cover. So yeah, I'm going to take the Chargers to cover and win this game. Easy bet.
Okay. No, same here. Same.
Texans are not
like the Texans. They have like they're lost right now. It's like they're just
we don't even need to talk about the Texans.
Exactly. So that's why the Chargers. Hey, the Chargers have been starting to pick it up like 8-6, not bad. Obviously, they start off the season very hot.
Then they kind of been inconsistent.
Yeah,
treading near the end of the season, so they need this win. So
they need this win. If 8-6 basically.
Well, you can't lose it. Yeah, but you can't lose 8-7.
You're not losing anything. So yeah, when you're talking about the spread too, they should cover. You just gotta blow them out. You gotta show that you're by far the better team. They can definitely win by more than 10 points.
All right, Bears, Seahawks. Seahawks at home. Last 2 games, Seahawks have put up 30 points. So, their offense kind of clicking. The question mark in this game is Justin Fields. What kind of Justin Fields are we going to get? Is it going to be, a Justin Fields? Because he's had a lot of good games, a lot of points he's put up, and then other games where, he's not noticeable or the Bears can't figure it out. So it really depends what kind of Justin Fields we're going to get. I expect the Seahawks to cover, though. I expect them to win this game at home, and I expect them to beat the Bears by a touchdown. That's the spread, under 7. So take that too.
Okay.
So I'm going to easy at home too. I'm going to take the crowd. I'm going to take the home field advantage in this one. If Seahawks haven't been good this season, question is, injuries, the defense, but still you have Russell Wilson, you got Tyler Lockett there. Chris Carson obviously out for the season, but they're gonna cover. Bears are the Bears. The Bears are jokes. So don't even worry about that. Steelers versus the Chiefs, Eric. Steelers comeback win, like we mentioned, versus the Tennessee Titans. That would have put them at 6-7-1. Instead, they're 7-6-1. Still in the hunt, Eric, for the AFC wild card. Or the division, who knows? But we'll see. We don't know. Probably not with my Bengals up there. Steelers versus the Chiefs. Chiefs favorites, Eric, under 10. That's the spread.
Wait, who are the favorites?
Who do you think are the favorites?
You say the Chiefs? Okay.
Were you surprised? Chiefs 10-4, the favorites at home. Under 10, like I said, is a point spread. Eric, like I said, we've mentioned this week before. The Chiefs are back to their old selves. There's a lot of question marks beginning of the season, mid through, but the Chiefs are coming back. Both sides of the ball are playing well. Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill just had massive games, Eric. Let me tell you, Kelce, 10 receptions, 191 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill, 12 receptions, 148 yards, 1 touchdowns. So bottom line is Steelers won't be able to keep up with the Chiefs scoring. So they're going to lose the game. That's it at the end of the day. It's probably going to be a 7 to 10 point difference. Hopefully not 2 touchdowns. That would be bad. And I don't expect the Steelers to cover. I could see the Chiefs
Okay.
beating them by 10.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Wow. Very. Okay.
I
Very
just like, come
pessimistic.
on.
Okay. Okay. So this. Okay. This is what I'm seeing right now. The Steelers 7-6-1. That Detroit Lions game might haunt us. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
We should have won that.
that game might come back
Oh.
to literally bite you in the
Oh
ass.
my
That's
god.
so
Because
funny.
imagine we didn't. Well,
You'd be
if
eight
we
and
would have
six.
won that,
You'd be 8 and
we'd be 8
6.
and 6, and we'd be at the
Guess who's
pretty
at the
much
top of the division? 8 and 6. That's the top of
8
the
and
division
6.
right now.
But what's very interesting is their last two games are Browns after, and then the Ravens. So
no.
those are gonna be super important games,
And
right? that we're
Bengals
gonna
still have to play the Chiefs.
Wow. Okay. So, but I'm pissed that we have to beat the Chiefs now. Like, why
This
can't
would
we
be a
play the
big
Chiefs?
game if they beat them.
We should have met the Chiefs before. Like, I'm pissed that we have to meet them now because obviously we know the Chiefs right now they're starting to pick it up. You know,
Oh
like
my
they're
God.
really good. But as always, I think I think the
they're at
Steelers
home.
got this. I think the Steelers got this.
Okay,
I think-
what's the game plan? How do the Steelers win this game, Eric? What do they got to do? Because Najee Harris
Okay,
have a
'cause-
big freaking game then.
Yeah, I know. Okay,
Defense
the thing with
too.
the Steelers is, we haven't. If you look at our stats, we don't really score. We haven't scored this season a lot.
Well, no.
Well,
It's
it's
like-
pretty fair.
Yeah.
And we have our defense hasn't been as strong as it usually
was,
is. But
no.
obviously TJ Watt's doing his thing still.
Yeah.
Like defensive player of the year there. You got it. Like he's been
Yeah.
doing his thing. So Najee Harris got pulled up. I don't know. I've been watching the game. The Steelers, it's not the same as like we're just not popping at like we're just not like these wins. Like I don't know. It's hard to explain. We just like it's sad to watch. We're not the same team as last year. We just I don't know.
Oh, what's going on? What am I hearing right now? There's
No,
still
it's fine.
3 weeks left. Are you jumping the?
No,
are you
no,
jumping
no,
the,
no,
the wagon?
no. We're still. I said we're winning this game. We're winning this game. I just need the Chiefs to have a bad game, and then we got this. You know.
Yeah, that's
I'm-
literally the game plan. Bad game.
But hey, don't forget, Mike Tomlin
Keys to
is one of the best
victory.
coaches.
You pray Chiefs suck. Keys to victory for the Steelers.
But don't forget, Mike Tomlin is a really good coach, very underrated coach. He's a great coach.
Of course.
And,
But what did I say at the beginning of the season? I said Mike Tomlin's a great coach, but I said this is Ben's last year. What did I say? I had the Steelers pinned at a 5, or what did I say? A 500 or below 500 team. Remember that?
Yeah,
Like this
but
is
we're
it.
above
This is it.
500,
If they
yeah.
lose, they're 7-7-1. What's the math? They're over 500, right? Or no? They're
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
with
Well,
those
it's basically
high,
500. Yeah.
basically 500, and then you have 2 weeks. But like, man, it's just interesting because our division it's tight. It's gonna come down to week 18. That's how tight it is. It's gonna come down to the last week. But
No.
Steelers versus like I don't know, man. Their run game has to be really good. Najee Harris is gonna have himself a game.
Yeah.
The Chiefs defense has been really good.
But
I'm
I've
not
been-
sure what their defense has been against the run game. But I think any chance for the Steelers to win, the run's got to be good. Najee's got to be. You got to make it aware. You got to set the tone early that you're going to run the ball. But there's the problem with the Steelers is that's what you said. They're not putting up points because they get
Yeah.
stuck
Mhm.
trying to run the ball all game. But then
Mhm.
teams figure them out. They're like, all right, we're going to force you to throw.
Exactly.
And we know Ben hasn't had the best season. And it's just if they if the Steelers go down, it's funny though, because the Steelers go down. How many games have we watched of the Steelers going down where they come back or they make
Yeah.
it close or they have a
Yeah.
comeback win? So
No.
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you throw the ball. Maybe you trust Ben with it, but because like just against Tennessee, there was and the defense, you got to commit turnovers because that's how they won against Tennessee, right? What was it? 4 turnovers? 3 was it? They all turned into field goals or something like that.
I don't remember.
It was something
Yeah.
like that. They had 4. So defense got to be big.
Yeah.
I say that's your only chance. If
No.
the defense isn't good, if they're mediocre like they have been, you lose this game.
Okay. No, that's completely fair. But yeah, I hope Najee, because Najee Harris realistically has been like him and TJ Watt have been the only like bright spots. This like
Yeah.
they've been excelling or doing like I had no idea TJ Watt was gonna be this good. Even when Bud Dupree left us, I was like, okay, like he lost his guy, so he might. But no, TJ Watt's still doing his thing. He's been injured. He missed a couple games too, and he's look at it. I think he has what 18? No, is it 18? I think like 18 sacks already this season. 17, 18 sacks. He broke Harrison's record. So
Bro, and they're missing
Hey.
their tight end, Steelers too.
Eric
Fairmouth,
Ebron.
Fryermuth, Eric Ebron, they're like
Yeah.
who they're gonna have a tight end either. Oh yeah, he's out with a knee. Your rookie Fairmouth out
Yeah.
concussion. It's gonna be tough for the Steelers, I think.
No, we got
even
this.
keep
though.
it even to keep it close. Like I think it's gonna be tough if the Steelers keep it between
Okay.
like If they like 7-10 is where I see it. Anything below, like if they keep it close, I'd be shocked. I'd be surprised. I would be.
I believe in the process. I believe in Mike Tomlin. We got this. I think we're coming out with the win. We're winning last 3 games of the season. We're winning. No worries. Making the playoffs with the number 1 seed.
That's just like who so optimistic. Who cares if I'm wrong, right?
No.
Anyway, Broncos, Raiders. Broncos coming off a loss against Who Dey, obviously. Who Dey compete? Who they think will beat the Bengals, Eric? Broncos out. Teddy Bridgewater jumps, hit his head hard on the turf. He's out with a concussion. Drew Lock comes in, and Eric, I think their offense looks better with Drew Lock. He looked good against the Bengals when he came in. However, he does throw interceptions like it's nothing. So that's a scarce for the Broncos going into this one. I'm going to take the Raiders at home. Derek Carr, they need a win. They're facing the Browns. Oh my God, Eric. As we speak in the flesh, 48-yard attempt, 13-14, 3 seconds left in the fourth. Raiders kicking the ball. Carlson.
He's good.
And that's that. Raiders just beat the Browns. Browns lose. That's good for us. That's good for
we love that. We love that.
The Browns losing. We love when the Browns lose.
No, that's when we get. That's when we get to be together on the same team. Like,
Browns
see
lose.
the Browns lose. Let's go.
Let's go. Browns lose. They're 7-7. Raiders just win. They're now 7-7. I'm gonna take the Raiders at home. Like I said, Derek Carr with that presence, they need to make the playoffs in the AFC. So I'm gonna take Raiders over the Broncos in that matchup.
Okay, well, I'm so happy right now that oh my God, that's insane. Okay, okay, so yeah, I think the Raiders, because it's always the same thing with the Raiders though. It's always so close to the playoffs, like very close. Good team, like. They're decent. Oh, is Derek Carr gonna take that step? Looks good all season, but then shit just happened.
Yeah.
But like this year there was a lot of like bad stuff. You know, like with the John Gruden, like Henry, like
there was 3-0, 2-0, and everyone's like, oh my God, the Raiders can make the playoffs, and then they return to the normal Raiders.
The normal Raiders, but yeah, I think I'll have the Raiders on this one too.
I just think they need to make the playoffs as well. AFC is not like the NFC. To get into the AFC, Eric, you need like 9 wins, maybe. You're gonna need like 9 wins. Look at the wild cards; they're all 8-6. You're gonna need at least 9 wins to get into the playoffs. Raiders are now 7-7. They need this win versus the Broncos, a team they can beat. The Broncos offense didn't really do much against the Bengals. Their defense looked good.
So Broncos defense is amazing. Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Raiders at home, just because both teams need this. They're both 7-7 at this point, heading into this week. And for what division do they play in? The Broncos, AFC West, the Broncos.
And the same one as the Raiders.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So both teams, they need to win. Oh my, both Division 2. I'm going to take home crowd. I'm going to take the Raiders to win this one. Okay. Then we get on to my team. My team, Bengals versus the Ravens. Eric, Bengals just beat the Broncos. Now they are at top of the division in the AFC North. Joe Mixon, however, he had a ankle injury, whatever, they wrapped it up, everything. He's questionable, or they don't know what his status is going into next week. The thing with the Bengals right now, the offense has kind of been up and down these past few weeks. They have two home losses in December, which is not a good look. However, Ravens, no Lamar Jackson, their secondary defensively wise are injured. Tyler Huntley is going to come in. Can he repeat what he did against the Packers versus the Bengals? That'd be pretty like impressive if he did. But I'm going to take the Bengals to win this at home. They're favorites. Under 2.5 is the spread. So I'm going to take the Bengals at home versus the injured Ravens. This is just another statement. Bengals are 4-1 in the division right now. They blew out the Ravens last time. I like their odds here. I like how the team's playing. Hopefully Joe Mixon can come back. If he doesn't, Sam Piron's going to have a big game in the run department. So yeah, but I like Tyler Boyd too is going to have a big game. Guarantee you that. Tyler Boyd, slot receiver. He's going to get overlooked. He's going to have a big game too against the Ravens. Bank on it, baby.
Okay. No, this is going to be a really good game to watch because I'm going to be honest. I honestly do believe that Bengals, I don't know. I'm not going to say they're the best team in the division, but they have shown.
How crazy is it that at the beginning of the NFL prediction season, I think we both overlooked the Bengals, obviously. but I didn't think the Bengals would be like by come this week,
Yeah.
week 16, pushing for the division lead or whatever in the lead for the division. I thought they were going to
Yeah.
be like a 7-10 team, maybe.
Yeah.
I thought that's what the bottom of the division, 7-10, or maybe third. Unless I put the Steelers dead last. I think I did. Maybe I put them last, or maybe I put the Bengals last. Anyway, the Bengals improved a lot. Their team, I mean, it's on the rise here. The offense, the defense, their
Yeah.
defense is stepping up. Their defense is their best aspect, best side of the
Exactly.
ball,
Yeah.
not the offense. It's the defense. Joe Burrow, by the way, highest graded QB right now, highest rated QB per PFF. So good for him. And yeah, the defense has looked really, really good this season, which is their best aspect of the game.
By
So
far, yeah.
I'm gonna take the Bengals. I like how they've been playing. I think the offense is gonna come to play next week. It kind of took a hit against the Broncos, wasn't really able to do much. But yeah, bank
Because
on it.
if you just look at the numbers, Bengals have the most points for in the division and the least points
penalties,
against.
everything.
So I don't know. But hey, you can't the Ravens. They're a good team. Like you can't see.
No, they're a
like
good team.
they
I just think
a bunch of these. So
defensively
it's gonna be. I'm banking on a really close game, like probably like a field goal or a touchdown or so. Like very very close game. Gonna have to be everything's gonna have to go well for both. Like it's gonna be very like no mistakes. Like and just you gotta focus on the game plan. Let's just it's gonna be a good game to
because
watch.
I'll say this. I'll say Bengals defense, in my opinion, is better than the Packers defense. And so obviously the offense, Packers win that. But yeah, I don't think Huntley's gonna do what he did against the Packers against the Bengals. I really don't. I
Okay.
really don't. Even when they went to Baltimore and Lamar was healthy, they shut him down. They had a game plan to shut his run down, and that's what they did. And guess what? They blew out the Ravens. It was a statement game, and now they're at home in Cincinnati. They play better on the road. It's funny, they do. They're 5-2 on the road, but hopefully here at home, the home crowd, they really get into it. So hopefully they can beat the Ravens. I really think they can do it here. So I'm going to take them. Not hopefully, they will, Eric. They will beat the Ravens. And they'll be 9-6, hopefully, in the division, and then increase their lead on everybody else. And that'd be great. And then hopefully Steelers, everyone else can lose. That'd be great. And let's go to the Sunday night game, Washington, Dallas. Terry's going to like this one. Cowboys, I think they're not going to lose versus Washington. I don't see them losing.
No.
I don't understand. Under 10 point spread. I do expect Washington to cover though this point spread. It's a division game. These games are always close. Even though Washington's 6-7, Dallas 10-4. These division games, they get heated. They're close, and so I expect Washington not to. Well, I expect them to cover, so I don't expect them to lose by more than 10 points. And so this is also the third game. Dallas's top three wide receivers are in Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup. I think CeeDee Lamb is like going back into that slot receiving role, more as where he was the outside receiver during the season when all three were injured or two were injured, whatever. So he's back in the slot. It seems like because that's what they're doing now with Amari and Michael Gallup back in the mix. They're the outside. He's back into the slot, and so Micah Parsons, he could be out for Defensive Player of the Year too. He's had a crazy year. So Cowboys are just going to beat the Washington football team. I don't expect to be a blowout because I think it's going to be competitive. So I expect Washington to cover, but Dallas for sure is going to win this game, 100%.
Yeah, same here. I think Dallas, 10-4. They're just very good team. Especially against these. Obviously, they like we were talking about they haven't really proven themselves against the really good teams, but they beat the Saints, who are a decent team. Obviously they lost to the Chiefs, but I don't know against these teams
to the Bucs early in the season. That was a close game.
So, but those are really the I'm not gonna lie, their schedule has been pretty nice to them. They have had a pretty good schedule. So
you face your division opponents.
Yeah,
twice a year.
Twice. So six games out of
6 games you're gonna win.
Playing,
You're gonna go 6-0. Well, not we can't say they're gonna go 6-0, but basically 6 games you face Washington, Philly, and New York.
Bottom 500 teams. Yeah. So.
But that won't discredit what Dallas has done. They're going to be a playoff team. The question is, can they beat those serious playoff teams like a Packers, let's say? Can they beat the Green Bay Packers? Can they beat the Bucs when they're healthy?
So, but you can't sleep on Washington. Washington's a good team, man. They have, Taylor Heineke has been, he's been pulling up I haven't fantasy one of the. I don't know if he's injured now, but no, I like this Washington team, but I think the Cowboys got this one. I
I don't
think
see
they'll
them losing. I
secure.
really don't. I'd be really
Yeah,
surprised if Washington won versus the Cowboys. Unless the
yeah.
Cowboys, I don't know, unless they take a night off somehow, but I don't expect it. So
Yeah.
Monday night football will be Dolphins and Saints this week, 7-7, both teams. This will be a defensive matchup. Saints coming off a
Yeah.
huge shutout win versus the Bucks and Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Dolphins also won. I forget who they just played. But they just won. They started 1-7, Eric, their season. Now
Yeah.
they are
They beat the
seven and
Jets. So,
seven. Oh, they beat the Jets. So now they're 7-7. They're hot.
yeah.
The Dolphins like I mentioned before, with the Jets offense, struggled against the Jets offense, whereas the Saints defense shut out the Bucks. It is in New Orleans. It's hard to trust either team right now. The Dolphins had just been finding ways to win, Eric. It's ridiculous. It's just hard right now. It's hard. Can the Dolphins D, they struggle against the Jets. Will they be able to do it against a mobile Taysom Hill? When he's at quarterback, he mobile guy. He's probably going to rush and stuff like that. So will they be able to stop it? Like they shut down Brady and Fournette and Gronk. I could see them shutting down Tua. It's not like they're comparable, right? So I could see the Saints winning this. The Dolphins have been finding ways to win, but I'm going to take the Saints. I really think the Saints win under 3 point spread. They're the favorites, of course. And yeah, I'm going to take the New Orleans Saints with Taysom Hill at quarterback to beat Dolphins. Defense, though. Saints defense going to pull up.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's all in the Saints defense because hey, the Saints they've beaten the Bucks twice this season already. So that does show a lot about their team. But I like Miami's team. Like obviously they're in that with the division with the Patriots and the Bills.
They're hot right now.
They're a good team. It's just it's hard. It's because they don't really score that many, right? They don't score that much. They've only scored 285 points so far this season, which isn't that much. And they're going up against a very good, like underrated Saints defense. Who have been showing like what they've been able to do. So,
keeping this team in the playoff hunt for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
New Orleans without this defense, nowhere near playoffs.
Yeah, they're nothing, right? So, yeah. So I don't know. I'll go against you. I'll say the Dolphins, but very close game.
Hey man, I was close to take the Dolphins too. Dolphins are finding ways to win. I was close to taking them. This could go either way. Playing at home in the NFL is huge. Yeah. I like the Saints, what they did last week versus Brady. That's only the third time in Brady's career he's been shut out. So obviously it's hard to do. So I like what they did, and I think they could do the exact same plan versus Tua and the Dolphins. Like they're not much scared. They're not as scary as Tom. Even if Mike Evans and Chris Godwin out, you got Brady, Gronk, and Leonard Fournette, who's been running the ball exceptionally well, as might I add. So I like the Saints defense, the way it's been played, the way they played last week. I think they can do the same thing and come out with a win. And Taysom Hill's a mobile guy. I think it's going to be problems for the Dolphins D.
Okay, that's very fair. Hey,
that's that. And that's that's been the NFL predictions this week. Next week will be past Christmas, Eric, sadly. So everyone enjoy your Christmas and your holidays. Everybody. Merry Christmas. For those watching us, thank you for listening and watching this episode of the Chtib Zhang Show. Listening on Spotify, watching with us here on YouTube, much appreciated. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Happy holidays and happy New Year, the whole shebang. Happy Hanukkah. Do you know any more religions? Kwanzaa. I don't want to start opening my mouth and say stuff I will regret. So we'll end it here. Or stuff I'm not aware of or informed about religion. I'm not going to start making sounds. So, thank you. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace. Roll the outro.